This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome to another episode of the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. I am excited to introduce you to my guest today. She is the owner of Patricia Grant Agency Farmers Insurance. Patricia, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to dive in. Before we get started, let's start off by sharing with the listeners a little bit about your business and what all you do.
Okay. Well, I insure, it's insurance, property and casualty, and also life insurance. And to give you a breakdown of the property and casualty, we insure homes, automobiles, businesses, and toys.
And toys. Wow. That's a lot of different categories. I didn't realize it was that much. That's awesome. So how'd you get into this? Tell me the backstory.
Okay. Well, in 1991, I worked at my first job was with Chubb Insurance Company as a receptionist. So that's where I got my start. And I found it very intriguing. So as positions came available, I would apply for them. So I worked in claims, I helped with underwriting, and it just spiraled from there.
Awesome. What a cool, job you have. Like you're truly helping people and truly changing lives. I imagine you just get a ton of satisfaction out of this.
Absolutely. And I worked on the carrier side and I worked on the agency side, and I found my passion with the agency side because I was able to help customers, educate them on their insurance and help them with the protection that they need for their home and for their lives and their family.
That's amazing. So do you find that there are any, myths or misconceptions about the industry?
Absolutely. One of the myths I hear is insurance is a ripoff.
Oh gosh.
It is not a ripoff, because if you're paying your premiums and if you have a loss, the insurance company is going to pay the bulk of your loss. You have a small thing to pay, but in the end, and I pray that nothing, detrimental happens, but the insurance company takes the bulk of that risk. So what you're paying for is you're paying for protection, and it's not a ripoff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a misconception.
Yes.
So important. Oh my gosh. Ask anyone who's ever needed it.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And another thing, I would ask people about life insurance. Hey, you have life insurance? Well, I don't need it.
Oh goodness.
You need it. Yes, you do need it. Well, I have it at work. Well, at work it's not enough, because when you leave that job, then the life insurance stops.
Mm-hmm.
If you get your own individual policy, you can make decisions in reference to that policy, adding beneficiaries, removing beneficiaries, and the amount that you want to carry. So having your own policy is very, very, very important. But a lot of people say, well, I don't need it because I have it at work. So that's another misconception that people have.
Yeah, and a work policy, you don't get any choices in that. So it might not even be a policy that would be attractive to you. So
right.
Yeah.
And with a life insurance policy from work, can you borrow from the policy? If you come down with a terminal illness, are you able to borrow money from that? So people need to think about that.
Yeah. So I have seen how hard you work. And so my question to you is, when you are not working, what are you doing for fun? I need to know.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love to dance. I like walks in the park. Well, line dancing. Let me be correct on that. I love line dancing. I love karaoke. That's always fun. Anything that's energetic and fun. I like eating, and if I have to quiet it down, I like walks in the park. I like to binge watch Netflix. And I love hanging with my family.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yes.
So switching gears a little bit, is there a hardship or a challenge that you have gone through that you now feel like, now that you're on the other side of it, you're much stronger because of it?
Absolutely. In 2017, it was a really, really rough time for me. And I wasn't sure where things were going to end up. But the light of the tunnel is I stepped out on faith, and I was presented this opportunity, and I haven't looked back, and this is my passion. So I love what I do. So almost 5 years later, I'm in a place where I am happy, ecstatic, and I work hard because I love what I do and I'm passionate about what I do, which is owning the agency.
Nice. What a great lesson.
Yes.
I imagine there are a lot of listeners who can relate to that.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
So what is something that you want the listeners to know about your business?
That we care. There are some people that just want to push a product. I'm not like that. I want to educate you on the product and let you know that I care. And I had a customer or a prospect who ended up turning out to be a customer. I let her know where my office was located, and she said, "No, yep." I let her know where my office was located, and then she wasn't really computer savvy because I said, "Hey, once we do this, this is what's going to happen." And she said, "Well, I don't know anything about computers. I don't know how to do it." I said, "You know what? Let's schedule an appointment. I will come to you." So she didn't have to leave out of the comfort of her home. She welcomed me in and she fed me. And we were able to take care of everything right there in the comfort of our home, no rush, just take our time. And I was able to walk her through it. So that's what sets me aside from others. I care enough that I will jump in the car and I will come to where you are. She lived in Virginia, and then I had a client that lived in Maryland. I said, "Hey, don't worry about it. I'm on my way." So, and then also if there's a claim, or if someone is in trouble and they need me, I would make it my point to be where you are. They can reach me through text messaging, emails, or they can call me. So before or after hours of the weekends, if you need me, send me a text. I'll respond back to say, "Hey, is right now a good time to give you a call, or just to make sure everything's okay?" So with that, with my business, I just go that extra mile because I care.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You really think about the customer experience, and that it speaks volumes how well you take care of your clients. That's
yes,
awesome.
and I put myself in their shoes because I'm a consumer too.
Yeah.
So how would you like to be treated?
Right. I love that. So if there are any listeners who want to connect with you and learn from you, where's the best place for them to find you?
Well, they can call me, but my address is 306 Garrisonville Road, Stafford, Virginia. The suite number is 303. We are right behind Bada Bing Bagel off of on 610, and also in front of the Home Depot.
Awesome. And I'll include all your contact information in the show notes. Patricia, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing all you do with us. I imagine you're going to get some listeners asking for some advice. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dory.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com. That's fxbgneighborspodcast.com. Or call 540-534-4618.